Hey, what's going on, everybody? Well, just thought I'd give y'all a end of week review. Quite honestly, my week sucked. Uh, okay, so if you watched my last couple of videos, you know, Tuesday I finally got my truck out of the shop. Uh, been in there for just over 2 weeks. Plus, I had Thanksgiving off, so I'd been off work for 3 weeks. Alright, so get out of the shop, get my load, loaded up at Oakwood, going to Phillipsburg, New Jersey, and get part way up there, find out I've got a power steering hose leaking. So, you know, I give me another power steering hose, get that put on, get unloaded at Phillipsburg, go over to Wiconisco, something like that, Wiconiscan, Pennsylvania, to load up some coal coming down to Sinton, Texas. Really good run. I was excited about this. I was like, yay! 1,680 mile run. Needed that, Not to mention I was sick all week long. Just got worse by the day. So got that loaded up Thursday morning. Started heading down. I crossed over the West Virginia line on 81. Stopped at the rest area. Made me some breakfast and some coffee because my throat was sore. And I was like, man, I see some steam. I was like, that's not right. I get out and look. Fan belt's gone. Brand new fan belt. Just had it put on. Called the dealership that put it on. Talked to them. They found another dealership. Luckily, I was only like 2 miles away. Go down there, have them check it out. And my tensioner was messed up. Well, they had the tensioner in stock, but not the belt. I thought I had a spare belt, but it was the wrong one. So I had to sit there overnight, wait on them to get the belt in. Got up the next morning, I'm going over looking at everything, noticed my other tensioner was messed up. My belt was over on the edge of it, so I had the mechanic look at it. Of course, it needed change too. So they had that one too, and they didn't want to reuse that belt, but I had two of that belt, so they used mine, so at least there was that. That arm's getting tired. So, got out of the shop Friday, about noon. That was another $1,350. 2 tensioners, a belt. Well, I got 2 belts because I got a spare one, and a pulley. And I'm on my way down to Texas, and I notice gray smoke shooting out the side of my truck. And I'm like, what the hell is that? Well, it turned out I had a V-clamp rust apart and coming loose, and so I stopped down at Hammond. The TA, they didn't have one. Luckily, the Speedco across the road did. So what was happening was it's the pipe that goes from the DPF filter to the SCR can. So in that tube going across there, that's where your DEF shoots in. It goes down into the CSR tube, or whatever it is, SCR tube. And there's on the 90, the one that hooks right to the can, that one had rusted and was letting DEF shoot out. So I was shooting death out the side of my truck. So yeah, eventually the engine light did come on. Went over to Love's, or the Speedco. That guy put a new one on there. Thought he had it. And I had topped off with fuel and def at the TA across the road before I went over there. Started down the road, got down to the Texas line. You know, that's about 200 miles. I went through almost a quarter tank of def. I got down there and I looked, and yeah, I had a big old hunk of def just hanging off that SCR tube. I mean, it's like running through the north in the ice and snow. I mean, it's just, I hit it and a big old chunk fell off. So yeah, I went to go pull all that apart. I talked to my dad. You know, he said what could be causing that. He said it could be they call them def bricks. They'll, right, going into that SCR tube, a lot of times, you know, def will build up and just keep building up and make a big old solid chunk. And he said that could be what's happening, you know, causing that to shoot out. So rest area, middle of the night, you know, there I am out there, pulled off that 90. Well, the new clamp I bought, I don't know what he had done, but it didn't have it on there right. It snapped. The old one that was on the other side, it snapped. I was like, well, I'd already called ahead to the next Love's, and they said they had 2 of them. So I was like, well, they're 36 miles down the road. I can make it down there. No big deal. Looked. It wasn't caked up. Got everything really, really, really clean. You know, that took, you know, as much def was caked up on around that tube on the outside and everything. I wanted to make sure it was going to make a good seal. So I got all that cleaned up. Put the clamps back on. Of course, they didn't have any nuts. They was broke. Went ahead and used some zip ties, hoping those would get me down there. They at least kind of kept the clamps from going anywhere, so didn't lose my 90. Got down there to the Love's. Well, they only had 1 clamp. Got it. Replaced the one that had just got replaced. Got it all snugged up. The other one, I found some wire in my toolbox. Got it put on there, tightened it down with the wire. And finally, my truck is running good for the week. On Sunday. Let's hope next week we're gonna start this anew. We're starting this anew. Starting tomorrow. Don't know where I'm going yet. He didn't have me anything yet when I talked to him Friday. You know, it's gonna be a new week. It's gonna be a better week. I'm getting over my cold. I still got a little bit of congestion, but I'm not running the fever no more. So that's good. I can breathe. Not real good, but hey, I can breathe. This Love's I'm staying at right here by Houston. They had another clamp, so I'm gonna, in the morning, pull the one off that I got wired on there, put the new one on there, get it all. We'll be good to go. And I've got my power back. My truck's running good. I'm not shooting def out the side, so yeah. Here's to next week being a better week, because this week frankly sucked. But that's how it is sometimes. You know, it took me 3 places to get these damn clamps. Well, the first one just because the guy didn't get it done right. But all in all, if you're wondering what I've spent on everything this week, it's probably been around $8,000. Yeah, because $6,661 to get it out of shop in Knoxville. Another $1,350. 3 clamps. That's, well, 2 of them I just bought and putting on myself. Those were $23 a piece. The other one was $100 for that guy to put it on. So All right, well, here's to hoping y'all had a better week than me, and y'all have a good week this week. We'll talk to you later.